Hi lovely foodies, this is Curie Food. Guess what? We're going to make some strawberry jam today. There are many recipes claiming low sugar that uses pectin, or claiming pectin-free that uses loads of sugar. But that's not what I mean. We're going to make a real deal version. Let's get started. You will need some strawberries, of course. Choose those ripe but slightly underripe ones, as they tend to have more natural pectin. A couple of lemons and a granulated sugar. You will find the ingredients below in both measurements. Let's start by hulling and cutting the strawberries into small pieces, about 1.5 centimeters long. If you have a curled pointy knife as I do, that'll be easier. But if not, just use a regular paring knife. Now, zest the 2 lemons. This will add freshness to the jam. A lot of the fruit has wax coating, so you can poach the lemons in the boiling water for 1 or 2 minutes to remove it. Next, squeeze some lemon juice. Depending on how juicy the lemons are, you may need 1 or 3 of them. By the way, I did use pH paper to test the lemon to see if the acidity level was right. It indicated something around 3 or 3.5, but more like 3. So basically, it helps nothing. Transfer the strawberries to a full-quart Dutch oven. Spread with the sugar, and then shake to mix the sugar evenly. The only suggestion here is to use a pot as big and tall as possible. I thought my full quart is big enough, but it proved me wrong, which you will see later. This is what it looks like after 4 hours. The mixture has become quite watery through the osmosis process. You can do 1 hour at room temp or overnight in the refrigerator. Swirl to get the stubborn sugar bits crawling on the side of the pot. I then decided to let it sit in the kitchen counter for another hour. Now add the lemon juice and use the wooden spatula to mix. Start out with medium to low heat, as we're only going to melt the sugar at this stage. Although I kind of think my previous osmosis process was thorough. When the mixture is not grainy anymore, turn the heat to medium-high. You're supposed to bring the mixture to a rapid boil, and then keep it boiling for another 5 minutes. So this is what will happen. In the next few minutes, you will witness a dramatic boiling effect. The sugar blooms all the way up that I'm seriously threatened by the cleaning nightmare. So I decide to turn off the heat for a minute. The beauty of the Dutch oven is that it will continue to finish the boiling job. Also, while waiting, it's a good idea to skim off the scum at this point. When the mixture comes down, turn the heat back on, but on low heat only. From now on, it's only a game of time. You may use a kitchen thermometer to guide you, but do not use an infrared. It's quite tricky. You may gently scrape the bottom once in a while to avoid burning, but do not whisk frequently, as the pectin is trying hard to bond with each other. The best way to test the doneness is to use a saucer that has been put in freezer since the beginning. Run your finger through. You see, the gap closes very quickly. It means it's not ready. So keep simmering. You will notice the temperature actually doesn't fluctuate much. Well, if you don't scrape the bottom. Temperature is an indicator, but not necessarily reliable. Instead, test with a saucer every 5 minutes. Another indicator is the sound of the simmer. The bubbles should be gentle, not vigorous at all. I'm doing another saucer test. This time, I'm going to put a saucer back in the freezer for 2 minutes. Meanwhile, turn the heat off. If you've noticed, the temperature is prone to 103 degrees Celsius or 217 Fahrenheit, which means the sugar concentration is about 65% now. Run your finger through. If the gap stays unclosed, it's done. Don't forget the lemon zest though. Throw in and mix well. The jam will appear runny at this point, but it'll thicken when it cools down. Leave the jam in the pot for 10 minutes and then transfer to the sanitized jars. Put a lid on and turn the jars upside down to cool down to room temperature. This is the texture of the jam after chilled in the refrigerator overnight. It gels well, can stay on the spoon for a few seconds. This means it can coat the bread very well. The best thing is the taste. Fruity and lemony. My favorite strawberry jam so far. Enjoy!